this is footage covering a recent assault that took place during the early days of the war on February 24th at what looks like to be Antonov International Airport in Hostomel, Kiev. From the cockpit view of a KA-25 Alligator attack helicopter, we see the crew providing close air support for friendly ground forces. They are operating one of the newest attack helicopters in Russia's arsenal. In contrast to most other models, it has a twin-rotor design and does not rely on a rear rotor for stability during flight. So even if the tail was hit, it could still potentially fly or conduct a soft landing. On top of that, it also comes with the ability to eject and catapult the two pilots out of the aircraft in case they are unable to land safely. No other Russian Hind has these safety features and currently stands as one of the top attack helicopters in the world. During this mission, a board of KA-52s were tasked with accompanying a group of Mi-8 transport helicopters, carrying Russian airborne troops to their landing zone. Their objective was to cover and draw fire away from the transport helicopters, allowing them to land and deploy troops on the ground safely. The Hinds start the assault by advancing towards the airport and attacking what they assume to be enemy ground forces camouflaged in the tree line. At this time, the pilot glances over to the left of his cockpit and notices a number of enemy targets camouflaged in the vegetation below him on the ground. One that stands out in particular is this vehicle hidden within the bushes. It appears to be some variant of a BTR, or armored car, most likely armed with anti-aircraft weapon systems. Judging by the sequence of footage, it looks like the KA-25 circled back around for another strafing run on the enemy vehicle and AA positions concealed in the trees and shrubs. After completing the strafing run, the pilot returns to the area and launches more rockets onto the same targets in that area to ensure that they have been neutralized. As the battle continues, that general area continues to get pounded with rockets and cannon fire from the helicopter. At this point in the video, the KA-25 has made its way a bit farther down the airstrip and is now much closer to the air terminal. This is the moment where things begin to go wrong. As they pass over this back road, they notice two vehicles parked below just before they start taking what sounds like small arms fire or something, shredding up their aircraft. It is becoming clear that the vehicle has sustained considerable damage, forcing the pilot to deploy flares and conduct an emergency landing. As they begin making their descent for landing, you can hear one of the pilots talking about gear failure in Russian, further stating, quote, "Our reducer is going to fall apart soon." This is probably the reason they were forced to make an emergency landing so abruptly. However, it is not clear as to what caused the critical damage to their bird at first. At certain points throughout the video, you can hear small cracks, indicating they were taking small arms fire from ground forces. After reviewing the footage closely, we believe the pilot landed right around here in this field. After exiting the helicopter, the two pilots were rescued and evacuated by a second wave of Russian airborne forces. In some after reports given by the downed pilots, one stated that they successfully evaded at least 18 missiles shot directly at them and destroyed multiple enemy anti-air units. They were targeted by what they believed was small arms fire, as well as a nearby enemy ZSU Shilka anti-aircraft vehicle, firing its set of 4 23mm cannons, sending rounds ripping through the Hind. Apparently, the few impacts that took out the engine and the main rotor reducer are what put the aircraft out of action. Here's a direct statement from the main pilot himself that day, confirming what really happened. "We came to the airfield first. In the first attack, the MANPADS calculation was destroyed. The anti-aircraft installation covering the MANPADS calculation was also destroyed. Realizing that we were under heavy fire, we retreated to the northern end of the strip, and from there began systematically clearing the airfield of air defense equipment. The objects were very well camouflaged, so we had to call the fire on ourselves so that the controlled crews could see where the fire was coming from and work with them. The objects were disguised as civilian vehicles, that is, there were cars designed for man-pads and ordinary cars were stopped next to them on the road and covered with them. In total, 18 man-pads launches were recorded on my helicopter. The helicopter coped, although anti-aircraft artillery damaged the main gearbox and the left engine. Our group destroyed 6 anti-aircraft installations. We couldn't even count the calculations of man-pads. People may speculate how this helicopter could evade 18 missiles. The KA-25 Alligator is equipped with various defense systems against IR-guided rockets, including flares, which is a common decoy used for countering incoming infrared homing missiles. Along with that, it is also equipped with directional infrared countermeasures, which is used to jam any guided missiles fired at them. They even have exhaust coolers, which are used to help reduce their IR signature, making it harder for guided missiles to strike them. A previous video circulating around the internet of a helicopter found abandoned down in the field was believed to have been this chopper. However, there are some stark differences in the vehicles that indicate they are probably 2 different helicopters. As you can see, the markings and paint scheme appear to be a bit different. The vehicle operated by the crew in the video has a blue streak running towards the bottom and slightly different shades of camouflage. Also, the armament found on the wings appears to be different. The helicopter down in the field has fuel tanks and guided rockets, while the helicopter in the initial combat video is seen only shooting unguided rockets and cannon fire. That is all the information we have so far on this engagement. More accurate data is expected in the future, of course. Please leave a like on this video if you would like to see more breakdowns and analysis like this. Also, consider subscribing if this is your first time stopping by the channel. We'll have a lot more videos you won't want to miss very soon. See you next time.